Okay, I found the pattern for the bottom, and I've cut that out. These are the patterns for the formers, and I've cut them out. As you can see, I've put a cut in there, and that's when we got to cut out the hatch. Most of it is cut out, which makes it easier to lift the hatch off. Okay, I'm now going to taper these edges off so that when we bend them and fit them together, they will fit together. So, just sort of test that, see how much it needs. Let's send that down there. Again, preparation is everything. The better it's prepared, the better it'll fit together. Now that's the front edges. Now these back edges will fit in between the wing, and as we're on about a 45 degrees, I think I might just take off 45-degree angle on them just to make it a little bit easier. I can trim it up later, but I think to start with, I think I might just go through and take out about 45 degrees on the edge that will sit on the wing. I can sand this or trim it later. Okay, and same with the bottom. 2, which should sort of match the angle that we've got there. Okay, with the formers, because I'm using Depron, and the formers were designed for foam board, I've actually cut them a little bit smaller because the Depron is 6mm and the foam board is only 5mm, and in fact once one side of the paper's taken off it brings it down to about 4.5mm, I guess. So you can see we're going to wrap that around like that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this former, we're just going to tack it on there with a little bit of hot glue. Before I do this, I might just take a photograph showing this for the photo. Build. And as I say, I'm going to just tack that on there. Just with a little bit of hot glue. So it'll give me a position of some idea what angle to bend this. The front one is going to go down there, so we needn't, I don't think, fit that yet, because we're going to wrap this around first. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some glue, some hot glue, these two to start with. I'm not going to glue it to the former at this stage. We'll wrap that around like that, and I'm going to try and keep it as square as I can, stop it twisting. So holding it against the formers, actually there is a back former too, I believe, which I should have actually cut out. I will in a minute. Which would help to keep that back to the right shape. I think what I might do now is just put a little tack on there, just to hold that. I'm not, notice I'm just putting it down the bottom, I'm not fixing it at the top by the, where I'm going to cut out for the hatch, because it'll only make it more difficult to part the two when I do cut it out. So I've just put a little bit there and a little bit there on the former, just to hold it in place on the marks. So that's going to sit up against that former is going to sit up against the wing. So it's fairly important that it's in the right place. which is by the edge of this cutout anyway. Okay, I might put a bit of hot glue down these two seams now. Same there. Put a little touch on the, just a tack on the former. We'll bend that around, making sure that the former is actually on the line. But I might there we go. Again, try and keep this as square as possible without any twists in it, because if it's twisted, it's not going to fly good. Don't want no twists anywhere. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the front former, which sits like so, which sits like so, and I'm going to glue that in place. Again, I'm not going to put a lot on, just a bead there and a bead there, and that's going to sit like that. I'm going to do the same thing there. Bead of glue down that one, and a bead down that one. Hold that in position. This part is a little bit fiddly. This is why I use hot glue for this, because if you were to use anything like foam tackle, you would have to try and tape it together somehow. At least with the hot glue, it dries fairly quickly. If you need to leave it to dry a little, you can always put a piece of tape across there to hold it, like that. If you're using foam board with the paper on, be very careful when you stick the tape on like that, masking tape on, to hold things in place, because it will, if you're not careful, it will tear off the paper from the foam board.